Yo, yo, yo! What up, fuckers? Welcome back. It's your boy Justin.
It's your boy Romo.
And if you're new to this channel, we are Pillar Thriller. We cover horror. We cover all horror things, right? So,
Movies, trailer reactions. If we want to break down a story, we do it. If we want to have a niche episode where we talk about reimaginings, remakes, kills, you name it, we talk about everything.
everything.
Got our podcast. We just two dudes love talking about horror. So here we are.
And today, go ahead.
We are going to cover Halloween Kills. I finally got around to seeing it this weekend. I had to wait a week for reasons. So, got around to seeing it, and we were both pumped to be able to say, like, we're going to record the day after you see it so that we can get all the thoughts that are fresh in my mind and all the thoughts that are fresh in Justin's mind out there on the table, out there into the universe to talk with y'all on it. So,
for sure. I'm very excited. I saw this opening night, and it's a game changer, man. Game changer. I gotta say, Dolby Cinema is a game changer. I'm never ever going to watch anything else in theaters that's not in Dolby.
yep.
I don't even give a fuck if it's a quiet place. They don't talk. If they come out with a third quiet place, I'm going in there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's incredible because I was talking about this with Halloween 2018 is like the older generation had seen the Halloween movies in theaters. Like we didn't have, like we had the other timelines and stuff and like the Rob Zombie stuff, but hearing this timeline being explored, being direct sequels to the original movie is just a whole different experience to us. And so knowing that this is the coming trilogy that's 3 movies following the original movie is just incredible. So we're pumped to talk about it. We're going to be able to talk about some amazing things. We're going to talk about the kills because there was a ton of them in this movie. We're going to be talking about just some of our favorite scenes. We're going to be talking about where this installment, Halloween Kills, fits in this timeline and some of its comparisons to some of the other films and what you can expect from the next movie and our theories on that because we always are theorizing over stuff like that.
So, without further ado, we're gonna get to it. But before we do, let's talk about our sponsors. This is coming out this week. So this week, the 29th, 30th, and 31st, Haunt Junkies Haunted Attraction at their own home will be open.
Go check it out. It's fire.
So, and they've already done reviews. They just did their last stops just yesterday, so be on the lookout for that as well.
Yep, check out their page, hauntjunkies.com, for all the reviews of haunted houses if you're in the southeast region, mainly places from around there. So they give the real and raw thoughts to all these places they go to, and it's incredible just the commitment they have to it and the love that they have in order to talk about that and help these haunts get better and also praise all the good stuff that they're doing each year.
For sure.
So we got Kosi, boring_Millie gave us this logo. This logo is absolutely incredible. And we got cool other stuff we're going to show you that have been done with this logo that we're really excited about. You may have already seen it, but I won't give it away right here. Yeah. Then we got Brandon Jack and Vize on the Just Kicking It podcast. Brandon Jack's brand, Just Kicking It.
His Halloween shorts are now available.
Yes, we can finally say what they are.
Pick them up!
Yeah,
pick them up, man.
Those, honestly, I have a pair of another, like...
His shorts?
Yeah, the same shorts, essentially, just a different design. And they are the comfiest pair of shorts I own. So
bro, they're so fine.
I stand by that.
Yeah.
Stand by it.
And then, yeah, man. And also coming out this week is an episode with them. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be out Friday.
Yes.
So
that'll be fine.
Just Kicking It. We'll be talking about the horror shoes that Vans just put out. So
Vans Horror Collection. So as I was researching, I realized they put out the shoes, but they also had clothes come out with it. So that's something I'm really pumped to do. It's a partnership with Warner Bros. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to talk about that with them. And as they talk about sneaker brands and everything like that on their stuff, it's a perfect blend of stuff to do at this time.
Yeah, it's perfect. But now we're going to chug our beers. Well, I'm going to chug mine.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
I'm taking a sip. I need to take a day off of drinking. My liver would appreciate it. So we're going to. I'm just gonna take a sip.
I started drinking kind of early today. The Jets kind of, you know.
He had a tough day with the Jets today. But I've
been drinking some Jack.
Last 2 nights have been heavy for me, so I'm gonna relax on today. So
I'm gonna move on to the beer and be a little loosey goosey.
Yep. So here's to Halloween Kills.
Cheers.
Oh, that was rough. Good job, Justin. All right, so we got a lot we want to cover. We're not going to be able to cover everything, but like I was saying earlier, things we want to cover are the kills, where this fits, kind of just some of the other things we noticed throughout, whatever comes to our mind of random thoughts that we had, questions we have for each other as we're discussing this, and just some of our favorite scenes. We're going to touch on that, but I really want to open up with how brutal this movie is.
Oh my God.
So
bro.
this is, I think it's safe to say this is the most brutal Halloween movie in this timeline. It's definitely more brutal than any movie that was in like the Curse of Thorn timeline, any movie that was in that H20 timeline. It's on the same brutality level as what you got from Rob Zombie. Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say
a ton of kills.
On his the fourth
yeah.
one, right? Yeah, because
I
that was
mean,
pretty brutal.
well, fourth one's subjective because there was like 5 or 6 movies before that. There's timelines are all over the place. We could do a whole episode on the timelines.
We could.
But you really, I mean, the best way I thought about looking at this was like John Wick wearing a Michael Myers mask. Like, he was just decimating people all throughout.
Never seen John Wick, so I don't know what that reference is.
John Wick is the Keanu Reeves movie.
No, well, yeah, I know what that is.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I just don't know of the movie.
Just,
like, I've never seen
just tearing people up.
Really?
Going on a tear. Yeah, it's very action-packed, killing a lot of people. So, that's what I've heard.
Romo liked to refer to Michael as Michael Voorhees.
That shit was funny.
Yeah,
I did like that.
Yeah.
Michael Voorhees, Jason Myers, because that's like the kind of brutality you're getting. You're getting some creativity in his kills, which you're not like super used to.
I think he actually used the machete, if I recall correctly. Was it a machete? He definitely used some knives.
I mean, yeah, he's going to use knives all throughout, but we get a chainsaw kill, or like I guess it's a buzzsaw kill, not a chainsaw. We get a kill with the light bulb fragments, as the light bulb is cracked in half, the long cylinder ones. We get a stab in the eye. That's my favorite.
God.
Not to give anything away, just that's my favorite kill in the entire movie.
Yeah. There will be spoilers, so just know.
Yeah, and you get a lot of other incredible kills throughout that you just aren't used to with Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise.
No, the only thing, so like I love this movie. I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts on this real quick. Mm-hmm. So I as soon as the movie was over, I immediately texted Romo and I told him it just jumped into my top 5. Not based off a storyline, because you guys know that Halloween is my favorite movie and Michael Myers is my favorite, I guess essentially just slasher or horror character. And to see him in this form was very new to me. Mm-hmm. I had never seen this in, I guess, like he said, in this timeline. So you have 1, 2, you have 2018, and then you have now, right? So those are, you have 78,
not
80.
in this timeline.
So, what do you mean?
In this timeline, it's 78, 2018, this movie.
Oh, it just skipped 2?
Yeah, 2 is disregarded completely.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, like, Laurie and Michael are not brother and sister in this timeline.
Oh.
Yeah. 2018 was a direct sequel. 2018 was a direct sequel
to number 1?
To number 1, yep.
Mm. Well, even with that said, even then, I'll still add 2. It's still the most brutal I had ever seen. It's the most badass. I kept telling him, this is the most badass I had ever seen Michael Myers.
That mask is also incredibly badass.
Yeah.
The mask is incredible in this movie. It's
killed it.
Weathered, obviously, but like burnt.
And I love it. Yeah. It was great. There's not really a whole lot to the story here. Mm-hmm. It kind of jumped all over the place with the cohesiveness of the story. So when we give the pillar rating at the end of this, it might be low because of that, but I still love it. Like, you know,
I agree. It's like it's something that weighs it down. And with that being said, we knew what this movie was. We know we have Halloween Ends coming up next year.
Yeah.
So you needed that filler movie to kind of push the story along, which it accomplished that. Now, did it really give you a compelling, unique story to it? No, it just built on what 2018 gave us and built on the original movie with flashbacks in this movie, which are absolutely incredible in my opinion. I know you can tell a difference between obviously it being shot nowadays with them trying to make it look old. I appreciated the effort. Yeah, it still looked great, and Loomis showing up was absolutely incredible. I don't want to get too far ahead because that's one of my favorite scenes I want to talk about. Yeah. But that's like it fits perfectly in what's going to be this trilogy, right? So it does hop around a little bit though. There are some parts that you don't know if you really need, but they they made sense in the moment.
Yeah, they introduced a bunch of different characters that I didn't.
Yeah.
Like for example, so there are these two random people living in the old Myers house, which is and that's where he comes back. Whatever. These two dudes who married to each other. They're pretty funny.
They were funny.
It's a good comedic relief for the movie. This movie overall as a whole wasn't that scary, but it had a lot of action. It was very action packed. It was action packed, pretty much from the beginning till the end. And
I have to agree, it wasn't super scary in
No.
that way. And you were saying they introduced a lot of characters, and they do, and it's characters from the original movie, right? So we have Tommy Doyle comes back as an adult. We have a
Karen?
whole bunch of
Was
people.
it Karen?
We have Sheriff Brackett is in there. Marion Chambers.
Marion, that's what it was.
Yeah, and you have Lonnie also.
Yeah.
Lonnie is Cameron, the boyfriend's dad.
That's-
So all of them are from the original,
It's so weird.
which is wild.
That's the only thing. I gotta say. So they included this weird ass backstory for Officer Hawkins,
Yeah,
that was never seen
yeah.
in like the original Halloween, but it was weird. They added a whole backstory, and then they had this weird love romance thing between him and Lori in the hospital. I gotta say I was not a fan of that. That was it kind of took away from the movie a little bit, and I was like, why is this here?
Particularly that sequence, because I know Lori was kind of Lori's always in the forefront, but I don't think she was really in the forefront in this movie.
No,
I think she was kind of there, and they wanted to obviously keep her very much involved. That's why she was injured the entire movie, and she helped spur the story along with dialogue, which is a very impressive thing to do as an actress. You being able to do that just through dialogue is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
That story, but the little romance thing that was going on, and I did not like the retconning of when they had Officer Hawkins or Sheriff Hawkins, whatever.
Yeah.
When they had him talking about Myers wasn't
It
he
was
wasn't
my
coming
fault.
directly to you. It was me. The doctor was who drove him to your place, and you were in his path. I don't like that. I like the more. It makes more sense to Halloween fans that it's just a connection to. It's a connection between Lori and Michael, and obviously part 2 that's not part of this timeline. Made the reason being that they were related. This one, I don't think there needs to be a reason. I think that's what made the first movie so great. Is he was just evil, stalking, killing people, and he has this connection to her that's unexplained, and it's scary.
Yeah.
He's unexplained. He's scary. So that's what I didn't like. I also didn't like the escaped mental patient part. So I felt so bad for that guy. I'm like,
this motherfucker just jumped off the building.
yeah, because he was terrified that the mob was going to kill him, and I understand why they want to show that. The director saying, hey, we're gonna have an instance of the negatives of a mob mentality. Because everyone's thinking, all right, why don't we team
Well,
up?
that's Michael, but then nobody's ever fucking seen Michael without his mask off.
Which is why they thought it was him.
Yeah, and it's a little different. I guess with Jordan Peele movies, right? Because when something like that happens, he always has some type of subliminal message.
I think there was a subliminal message here. I think that it was to show the negatives of what can happen with a mob mentality. There are plenty of negatives that happen when a blind mob mentality is brought up, and then things like that can happen. An innocent man died, killed himself.
Yeah.
Because of he thought he was going to be killed by someone, for a very innocent man that was just scared. It was a very sad moment to me, honestly. It had a lot of weight to it watching it, but also I didn't find it super necessary, except for them to show what could go wrong with all of them grouping up and trying to kill Michael.
Yeah.
And I also thought the Evil Dies Tonight thing was very overdone. I know that they were chanting it all throughout, and so all right, it's a chant, that's cool. But I counted before that, I think 4 or 5 times, some random characters, just whether it be Brackett or Tommy Doyle coming in and saying, Evil Dies Tonight. And I'm like, all right, y'all have hammered this home. We get it. It's a really cool tagline. It was on the poster. I get it. We know there's another movie. That, even without that knowledge, that just felt too much.
Yeah. But with all that said, I think we got to, he wasn't a fan of Tommy Doyle at all. I think the whole riot thing was weird. It was I guess, you're set out to kill Michael because he's been haunting Haddontown for literally 40 years, right? So it was 1978, 40, 2018.
He was haunting them indirectly because he was in the mental hospital
Yeah.
at the time. So like people were just living with the tales of all the people that died on 78.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but with that said, there's way more good in this movie than there's bad.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that stuff out.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying, Tommy Doyle was not my favorite in that way because I just didn't believe that character as him. It's also funny to know that Paul Rudd played Tommy Doyle in like the 4th Halloween, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
So that's just funny to me. I've obviously ignored that going to that, but that guy just didn't give me the vibes I wanted out of that storyline, seeking a character that needed to have the actions that he had. That's how I felt. But like you said, a lot more good.
There's a lot more, and one of the things is, let's go ahead and get into it. His brutality in his kills. To me, this was like a first to see this type of just to see the gore. I guess I'd never seen that really in Halloween, right? Like I guess you saw him lift people up and stick them to the walls, but you don't really see even at the beginning, you saw this motherfucker swinging shit, and
coming out with a pickaxe.
In the fire, just was killing I think he axed somebody in the head, and that shit was and I was like, damn, all right, this is great. This is a great way to start this.
I'm glad that they also explained that he was hiding in the gun case. That was my theory. I was like, he's probably hiding in the gun case.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would have made sense for him not getting fully burned up.
Yeah.
Sure, it was hot, but not being in the fire.
But fires don't stop him. He was blown up in the second movie as well, even though that has nothing. If that has nothing to do with the timeline, it doesn't matter. Like that, he was still, he was burnt to shit. That and I was like in that hospital. So another example. Sorry, let me just finish this real quick. Another example of the brutality of this kill was and it's not necessarily his kill, but when the mental patient jumped off the building, you saw it was, oh my god, Hannah couldn't even look at the.
He was half still fading away.
And he was twitching. It was. I was like, that looks so real. But I'm smiling right now, which means that I probably have a fucked up head. But it was awesome to see, bro. It was cool.
Yeah, that joke was crazy. And I'm glad I let you finish that because I was we're not just talking about kills Michael did. That's obviously a kill that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you what, whether it be 2 or 3. We don't have to actually go a top 3, but give me 2 or 3 of your favorite kills in here. So what or maybe not even favorite, but just stuck out to you.
So the axe in the head at the beginning with when they went to try to I guess save people who were.
They were just putting out the fire, trying to see if there's somebody there, right?
Yep, that was one of them. This isn't necessarily my favorite, but it did stick out because I just thought it was really random and weird, and I hated this, and I'm hoping it's just some type of dream sequence. Mm-hmm. But when he killed Judy Greer at the end, I was like, damn, I don't want to see her die. Mm-hmm. But obviously, the person that killed Mike, I knew he wasn't gonna die when they stabbed him right in the shoulder blade. It was such a weird,
I thought it was the upper back, but regardless, he had been shot 6 or 7 times before that, and they were gonna double tap him. They were about to shoot him in the head, and that's when he popped off. So it makes sense. At least they didn't do the illogical thing, in my opinion. Just say, okay, we're gonna shoot him in the head. They tried, that didn't work.
Yeah.
They were going to, it didn't work.
And what's another kill that matters? There was there were so many.
What about that light bulb kill? At the beginning when he takes the light bulb from underneath the stove.
Oh, the woman.
Yeah.
Yes. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, I was because he looked at her like this. He just looked.
Yeah.
He was
it was very drawn out. Very drawn out.
And then just slowly walked over. Bitch. Get the fuck out the house! What are you doing?
I'm surprised she didn't take off.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you?
What are you doing?
You went through all this to open the door and everything.
Just stuck that, bro.
Then went sideways with it. So it was and she dragged. I thought she would have been dead quicker. She was sitting there watching him post up a body, which it was kind of cool to see. Kind of cool to see. Why do I say that? Kind of cool to see him actually putting a body up for people to find, because we see that throughout, whether it be when he puts the 3 bodies up in the season of Witch masks and everything at the playground. You see the process in that house of the with the lady he stabs in the neck with a light bulb, and the other guy he stabbed or bashed his head against the wall and also stabbed, but just like was putting knives in him. Just like it's just one of the sadistic things that we never got to look into it. So I'm glad they expand on that. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like curious. Like, I guess they explained it right? So he is a kid living in an adult body. That's how Hawkins said it.
Yeah, I don't think that was intended to go like really far in explaining him. I think it was just meant to say like he's just snapped one day,
yeah.
And that's still there's not a grown up adult in there making logical decisions. He's just snapped, pure evil. It's perfect description for that, in my opinion.
But what about you though?
Oh yeah, so
your favorite 2 or 3 kills.
So the kill when he kills Judy Greer at the end, when he kills Karen
Hated that.
at the end, that's one of my favorite scenes also. That is, we talked about this movie not really being that scary. When Michael slides out from behind her, I think that was the scariest scene in the movie. Element of surprise, there was actually built up suspense. I thought it was terrifying. Mm-hmm. And I'm still processing if I'm glad that they end up killing her off, or if I wish she'll be in the next one. I really think you could have had her in there still, but then also cleared the way for Laurie to have her face off with him in the next movie. But maybe they felt like they needed her to die, so
Laurie would have so it's
not like the pack mentality of the Howl women in there, of the 3 generations of Strode girls, like it was in the first movie. So I respect it, and that movie needed that to build some hype into the last one, and audience should feel sad and disappointed if you really love Judy Greer like I do. So I didn't feel disappointed. I was just sad. I was oh my god! I was sitting there. That kill had my mouth open, sitting there watching it. The other one was when he stabbed Dr. Love in the eye in the car. When he stabs underneath his eye. So when they're outside the playground and he grabs his stethoscope and Michael's killing the old characters.
Oh, the couple?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when he's trying to choke Michael with the stethoscope, Michael slowly turns, looks at him, and quickly you just get they show the guy kind of, and then the knife goes up, and I was I almost flipped my drink over. I was it didn't make me jump, but I was what the F just happened? That was
And you'd think that that's where it ended, but he placed these people on them on the swings and
very
shit.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, I was damn, okay.
Oh yeah. So those are my top 2, and then the light bulb stab would be number 3, because I thought I appreciate the creativeness of that kill. I really
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It was. There's so many kills in here that are really good that we didn't even get to allude to, but those are some of my favorite. The eye stab one is my top, and then the Judy Greer kill really that has so much weight.
The light bulb one is probably that's probably the most brutal. With that said, though, where do you think this will lead us after the Judy Greer kill?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a dream sequence?
No,
Or
I think she's dead.
She's dead.
I think she's dead.
Okay.
I think there's no reason they would have shown that. And if it was a dream sequence, I'm going to be very soured on this movie once it's revealed, because I don't like false endings. I'm if you're going to make an ending that monumental, that impactful, stick with it.
Yeah.
If that's the script you write, don't be oh, it was a dream. Unless the movie has dreams that fit into it, it makes sense in the movie, but there's no reason there should be a dream sequence there.
Agreed.
So I think that's what happens. I also did see from research from leading up to this that Judy has been told she's not in the next movie. Her character is not in the next movie. So the director called her and let her know before she got the script, and she was sad about it because of how collective everyone is on making these movies and how much they love it. But we may see her in flashbacks, and she may have some scenes from that kind of perspective, kind of like we got with Loomis here.
Which, by the way, when Loomis came back, the whole theater for me, I don't know, it was crazy. Everybody just started clapping, and I was everybody, all these Loomis stands.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, so, it was incredible. The CGI on him looked really good.
Yeah,
it looked really good. It didn't look like it did in Rogue One when they had CGI on a person's face, and you could very obviously tell the CGI. I thought, oh, is this actually a deleted scene that they didn't end up using from the original movie that they put in here?
They did a good job, even with old flashbacks of Hawkins.
Yeah,
That was cool too. They made it look like it was from that time frame. So that was dope.
That was a really positive note for me on that
Yeah.
movie. But let's talk about where it goes here, right?
Yeah.
So this installment is obviously was placed. It's in the middle to get us to Halloween Ends, where the saga of Michael Myers is supposed to be finished. They alluded a lot to Laurie saying in the movie in Halloween Kills that I'm gonna take his head as he takes mine.
Yeah.
I think Laurie's going to ultimately die, but we'll take Michael with her.
Yep.
And I know that's probably a common theory. So if that's my 1A, my 1B would probably be that Michael somehow actually survives and doesn't die, but kills off Laurie, which I don't want them to do because it leaves the door open to more movies. And I don't think that's what the intended trilogy purpose was. I think the purpose was to end Michael Myers and end the Laurie Strode Michael Myers connection, which is what we've been fascinating over for 50 years now. So it's
Bro, that's crazy. That is almost 50 years, right? So 1978, almost.
close.
It's like, yeah.
So-
That's almost.
So that's what I think. So I want to hear your theory, and then we can expand a little more on
No.
some of the stuff throughout the movie we really loved.
My theory is, so I don't think Allie is, what's her character name? Shit.
The daughter.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let me look.
I'll have it up also if you need.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I'm blanking on her name right now.
We had a lot of good characters in this movie. Honestly, a lot of good characters that are well acted. Also, like I know this movie has the gay couple, which are
her name is it is Allie. Her name is Andy. So okay, I wasn't blanking.
back on track.
Yeah. So what I think happens is, and I could be. I mean, obviously, we could both be completely wrong. But I think, and I have like a sequence of events of how this happens. I think Officer Hawkins and Laurie both somehow, miraculously, just get up out that place, even after being sliced in the stomach. And I think Officer Hawkins was the neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think they both get out of there, and they go to try to, after they find out Karen's dead. And because I do think, I hope it's a dream sequence personally, because I don't want her to die, but I don't think it's going to be. And I think that they're both going to go after they find out that she's dead. He's going to kill Hawkins. He's not going to be the one to kill him. He's also going to kill Laurie. But Laurie's not going to kill him either. I think Allie's too important to the storyline, and I think she's going to be the person to end up killing him after seeing her grandmother and her mother both die. But that's just me personally. I think she's just too crucial to the plot for her to just not, like, she's out there really. I mean, you saw how important she was out there really looking for him. She was on a manhunt. It was so weird. Also, by the way, that sheriff that was in the town of Haddonfield, he had no control over his people. It was the weirdest shit.
And I think that was a really good job of them showing, hey, even in these mass amounts of people wanting to do this, law enforcement can't really stop them.
Yeah.
I want to discuss what you were just saying. So yes, I do agree. Allie's extremely important to the story.
Yeah.
We kind of got her face off with Myers in this movie, so that's why I'm curious if they would do that again, or if it's just going to be a face off of Laurie and him, and then she gets a sneak kill that finally kills Michael.
Could be both.
But you're talking about how important Allie is.
Yeah.
I could also, if I was playing devil's advocate, say, all right, but Laurie is
The most important. Yeah.
So there's no reason for them to do anything else, because Laurie didn't get the ending to her character in the other timeline that John Carpenter wanted, that she wanted. So this is the chance for them to do it right. When she died in the 4th or 5th movie, I can't remember which one, in that timeline. Obviously, she comes back in age 20 in an entire different timeline, but I think this is to get it right. So I think Allie's going to be extremely crucial to him dying.
But you don't think she's gonna be the one?
Yeah. But it's fair, like you said.
Yeah,
like,
we both have
if we knew what happened already,
they would. Yeah, exactly. And it's cool to
fun.
theorize about these things. You know, that's one of the things we do. So it's dope. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to hear. Like, you know, what you guys think too.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been on Reddit yet, so there could be other things that we don't know about.
Yeah, I've been looking. There's a lot of this movie got mixed reviews, which not surprising to me. Like I was saying, like there's some parts in here that I really didn't enjoy that much, but then there's some parts where I was like, this is absolutely incredible. I love this. I love the originality of this. I love that they went this direction. I love that they used the movie in the middle of this trilogy to do these things. And then there was stuff where I was like, that was so unnecessary. Like some of the conversations and dialogue by characters at first I really didn't like, and then they eventually won me over. Or they didn't, like the Tommy Doyle really never won me over personally. And some of the other characters did. Lonnie ended up winning me over towards the end. I liked his connection. So
I don't know, man. I think of all things that bugged me in that movie, it was just like the added stories that like weren't there in the beginning. Like what?
Like building stories on these characters that they've pulled from the first movie. Essentially,
that had nothing to do with Michael.
Yeah, just they were in Haddonfield at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. So I feel you on that. So with that being said, Justin, before we rate this, give me your. I mean, we talked about kills and we talked about some of our favorite moments. What was your favorite moment in this movie? Like, if you had to pick one moment that you were like...
A moment?
Yeah,
Bro.
Or moment or scene that you were just like, that's what... You said this moved in your top 5.
Yes.
Was there anything that was like, you know, you had that turning and you were just like, that's what did it? And I know it's more probably collective, but I just want to know if there was a
there
peak.
wasn't like... for me, there was not like a specific moment that made me go, oh, this is in my top 5. It was after the movie and what I realized... What made Halloween Kills... I guess descend into my into my top 5 of horror films was how brutal Michael Myers was, and because I've never seen like nobody unless it's a Rob Zombie Halloween, you've never seen that. Like it's not John Carpenter, but it was like the first time in a John Carpenter movie where I'd seen Michael be this just had like. No fucks. Like he already had no fucks to give, but it was like, it was just way different.
He had more people in his path, and that's always been the thing, right? Is he's only gonna kill people that get in his path. So that's being one. And
I couldn't say that I have like a favorite moment though. Like there's not like one moment. I could give you a favorite kill, which probably be the light bulb, but I can't give you a moment in that.
Which is fine. You enjoyed it collectively.
Yeah.
And that's good. And like it wasn't one thing that carried some flaws in the movie. Like you actually enjoyed it all together, which is how it should be if you love the movie that much, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I really am excited about this. So I say we get into the pillar point system as we wrap this up. And Justin's gonna be pulling up the actual criteria that we use for it.
Yeah.
So I will say before I give my rating, I'll preface it with I thought 2018 was a better film together. So I'd have to look back, but I think this rating is going to be slightly lower than that movie if I have to recall how I would rate Halloween 2018 right now. So you want me to kick it off or do you want to kick it off?
You can go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that way, Justin being the one that saw this first, I'll let him ring this episode last. So we always weigh this on terror factor, cohesiveness, directorial touch, acting, emotional investment, storyline, genre impact, and then usually things outside of that we want to consider, we do. So Justin breaks this down. He sometimes gives himself an average through. I'm just going to give you my evaluation. I've kind of talked about it a little bit. I don't think the movie was super scary. Scariest scene was the last scene, in my opinion, because I was not ready for it. Cohesiveness and directorial touch kind of hops around a little bit. Directorial touch, though, I thought was really there. I really liked that. It felt like a Carpenter Halloween movie. The score was absolutely incredible. We didn't touch on that too much, but the score is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of good sounds. I liked Halloween 2018's score slightly better. There's songs from Halloween 2018 score and soundtrack that I still go back and listen to. Acting, I thought the acting was really good. Like I said, Jamie Lee does her job in this movie, and I thought Judy Greer and Allie do a fantastic job carrying that role, but I did not like a lot of the characters we were talking about that came from the first movie as reference, and this one they're acting. I don't know if it was purposely trying to be that, but I really didn't like some of their performances, just with how almost unbelievable as characters they were as like normal people out existing among us. And then emotional investment, wasn't too emotionally invested except for just the love for Halloween. So I guess that's a strong point there, because I do want that movie to be good even going into it. And then storyline, I thought it fit well in the actual trilogy. So with that being said, I was thinking about this. I would give it a 3 out of 5. I would give that a 3 out of 5 on my end.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna tail him. Terror factor really wasn't there. It wasn't really scary. The cohesiveness also really wasn't there either, mainly because the plot, it was kind of all over, like we said, it's kind of all over the place. Acting was great. Acting actually made me emotionally invested in this movie because of that. So, and the storyline goes in with the cohesiveness here. It's not really all there. And please, just because this rating is going to be low, I'm going to let you know. Just because this is low doesn't mean I don't love it. It's almost like Terrifier, right? Where it's like, okay, it's not really a smart movie. You don't really think on it so much. But I love it so much. I love shit because of the brutality of it, right? And that seems that way. I will also have to give it a 3, mainly just because it was not scary. There were a lot of holes in the plots. Writing was a little corny. Especially in that hospital scene, it was like, she was like, no, you were just doing your job.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, so, so yeah, I guess if altogether, it's a pillar point system. It's a 3 out of 5.
I'm surprised you didn't go higher, honestly.
Yeah.
With it being in your top 5,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna really bump that bad boy up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just because it's in my top 5, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a 5 out of 5 just because it's in, like, you could like things that aren't good.
So where do you fall on this one then?
What do you mean?
Like you say 3 out of 5, it just happens to be one of your favorite movies.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we were curious. That's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure everything lined up.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So I guess that'll wrap up this episode for that. And if you guys have anything to add, any theories, anything we don't know, we may have missed, let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. As always, peace and love, man.